All right, people still got a rework. Me and my friend were just talking about the other day about fighting songs and which one we hate, looking at Two Wolf. And you know, we just got to the topic about which style we would like to see with the rework now. And one of my styles, I said I wanted to see an ippo rework, and holy crap, I did not know about this, but I was just playing in the server one day, and it just kicked everybody out. So I was like, oh shoot, what's going on? And then I see it ippo reworked, and I was like, oh my god, you know. And I was just talking about they should have a Dempsey ability, and they added it. They added it. You know, this my I was just so stoked. A lot of people would like to say Epo is broken now, but I do not think so, because the Dempsey ability is hard to land against skill players. Like the only time you'll be able to land a Dempsey is if it's against a noob, or like this is what I like doing is if you're like medium pace opening a medium distance from the opponent, you could close in using a Dempsey. And Dempsey does not do that if you are blocked. If you are blocked, then Dempsey only does it as much as a M2, slightly more. But if you block, if you don't block, then ooh, now equal. I would say all the moves are the same, but the only difference is just now. At first, I was like, I think it's so lame that they don't have a backdash, but I think there's a reason to it. Since they buffed the forward dash so much, so that if they did the same with the backwards dash, then you know it would be another wolf. You could just do M2, 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 or you could just do M1, M1, and then run away, and then or M2, M2, and run away. Yeah, I think that's like one of the things that balance out Epo's. They buff the forward dash so much. Another thing that Epo has a fast startup now. You can since the Dempsey doesn't take that much charge. You know, the Epo has a fast startup now. I used to be so slow because the dash wasn't that great back with the Epo, and the attacks were alright. You know, I think for the old Epo style was a passive way. Like the best way to play that style was just using it passively. But you know, the new style you can like start up really fast using being aggressive. Now a tip I have for towards playing the new Epo style is, you know, use your M1s. And you're gonna see what I mean in a bit. A tip I have for the Epo style is when using your dash, use your M1s. You're most likely gonna get countered when you're using your M2s because the M2s are so close range. Is try not to use your dash so much, so like when you're like in close proximities, because you're just gonna end up dashing into the person's M2. Alright, I got punished here. See, this is a fast startup I was talking about. But yeah, like the Dempsey could easily be countered by the new meta styles such as Chronos or Bullet. Alright. Use feints because you're gonna get countered if you just use your M2. Like just to make sure I land my M2s, because most of the times you just dash an M2, you're gonna get perfect dodge or a counter. And if you're fighting a bullet, you know that counter damage is just crazy. So what I do is just I circle around the opponent and then just use M2s. Like I dash once and then dash again to use the M2s, and and if you time it right, you can use it more than once. Now for the Dempsey roll, if you do land the Dempsey roll, the only thing to watch out for is to make sure you don't run out of stamina. So what I do is after 3 to 2 hits, I usually end it off with a heavy that usually destroys their shield or just does a lot of damage if they are not blocking. Now another thing is with the dash is, since there's no backdash, something to make up for this is once you hit them with a heavy, you just slowly start backing up, and one of two things is gonna happen. They're gonna dash forward to you, or they're gonna dash back. So if they dash forward, get ready to do M1, or if you're feeling risky, you could counter me with the Dempsey roll. Now Dempsey roll, you could, if you're losing, you could use Dempsey roll to your advantage and to even out the playing field. But you know, most of the times, like if you're playing someone against someone skilled enough, the Dempsey roll won't be that good. Only if you time it right. You know, I've seen a new gimmick with the Dempsey roll, but you know, it's still really good. Oh, I just got hit with an ultimate right now. And yeah, so with the new Epo style, for it being, I feel like the old Epo style was a bit plain. You know, it felt more plain than the basic style. I felt like the basic style was more exciting than the Epo style. And I really like this rework they used. I really like the new Dempsey ability. It's really fun to use. I feel like this was one of the best reworks. So to play Epo is basically just utilize M1s, M2s. You gotta time that because the M2s are kind of slow. I feel like you could play E4 the same way you will play an Iron Fist, M1, and then occasionally M2. You know, but like, you know, the spamming M2 only works if you're playing against the noob. But if you're playing with the skill player, just utilize M1. Just utilize M1s. M1s will save you with Epo style. Yeah, because the M1s would charge up your Dempsey. And you can deal damage from there. So so how I like to play Epo is aggressive. I dash forward, use M1s. When I'm about to run out of stamina, you know, I just back up a little bit, and then they either dash towards you or away from you, So that gives you like a time to think about your next move and all. I really like this new ultimate. I feel like the old Evo ultimate was kind of like it was nothing special, and this new ultimate just shows how badly Ippo beat Sendo's ass in that fucking match. And I really like the new ultimate. I feel like the old ultimate was kind of like it was kind of plain, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like old Ippo style as a general was kind of too plain. So this new rework really like shined a new light on it and made it like very interesting and fun style to use. And with this new rework, Ippo became one of my favorite styles to use. You know, when I'm not using my main style and I'm just like playing for fun instead of grinding ranked. You know, I like playing Ippo style. And yeah, like so too. So basically, to sum up the tips of how, so to sum it up, a good way to use Ippo is just utilize M1s, M2s, and use M2s when you're sure you're gonna land, or just like circle around them. Use feints when playing against more skilled players, because your M2s are kind of going to be useless because they could usually counter it or just like perfect dodge it, because that's what I've been seeing a lot when I've been playing against people who've been using Freedom or Chronos. The Dempsey roll, it like you land them when they're like close, like almost out of stamina, close, I mean like close to you, or if they're against ropes, because that's when Dempsey is most likely gonna land. You can use Dempsey to break shields, but then you can't really do any damage afterwards because you'll be out of stamina. So I feel like Dempsey would be a great way, like instead of wasting all your stamina against you while using Dempsey, just you use it until you could like use it until you're like halfway bars, and then like their shield is gonna be pretty broken. So then once you charge up, you start attacking again. And it could just be an onslaught. So yeah, that's how I like playing Dempsey. If you found any new gimmicks, please let me know in the comments. This was like one of my favorite reworks. I really like this new rework. I felt this made Ippo go from plain to immaculate. I just felt this new rework made it really fun to use. I like using it, but competitively, I don't think I'm good enough to like use this mode, I mean, style competitively. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to use when you're playing a quick game. And yeah. And yeah, that was basically how I liked to play Ippo style. If you have any new gimmicks or found any, or like have another style that's like also effective, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, keep it crispy, kids, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.